The unthinkable, the unbelievable has happened.
The ayes to the right, 379. The noes to the left, 137.
The ayes to the right, 379. The noes to the left, 137. So the ayes have it, unlocked.
Well, that is a historic moment. MPs have voted to say that women should now be removed from criminal law over abortion, effectively decriminalising abortion for women who choose to end their pregnancies at any stage of that pregnancy.
Originally passed by an all-male parliament, elected by men alone, this Victorian law is increasingly used against vulnerable women and girls. Since 2020, more than 100 women have been criminally investigated.
Well, moments ago, the MPs came flooding out of the chamber, including a rather relieved-looking Tonya Antianazi, and that's because her amendment passed, meaning that women now can't be prosecuted for having an abortion at any stage in their pregnancy. It really is a historic moment.
Now, the law that Labour got through yesterday, with no debate, came out of
2
nowhere.
hours.
Yeah. The public didn't know about it at all, was to basically abandon all laws. There's now no laws against when you can and cannot have an abortion. So
The unthinkable, the unbelievable has happened. The UK has legalized abortion up to 9 months. And the excuse that they gave is they think it's unfair that women who terminate their pregnancy after 24 weeks are being investigated by police and sometimes prosecuted for breaking the law. What? That's the reason that they gave. That's the reason why they legalized abortion up to 9 months. Here in the UK, before this amendment was legalized, abortion was only legal up to 24 weeks. And if a woman had an abortion after 24 weeks, she would have to face criminal charges. Do you guys want to know how many women were convicted of having abortions after 24 weeks since 1861? 3 women. 3. Do you know how many women were prosecuted since 2015? Guess. Just over 100 women. And 7 women have been charged since 2022. Now, do you want to know how many abortions have been carried out in the UK since abortion was legalized in 1967? Look at what this says. A simple Google search will let you know. Let's read it. It is difficult to provide an exact total for abortions performed in the UK since 1861 because official records are not consistently kept prior to the Abortion Act of 1967. Now pay attention. However, after the 1967 Act, there have been over 8.7 million abortions recorded. 8.7 million abortions since 1967, since the legalization of abortion. 8.7 million British babies murdered. And they decided to legalize abortion up to 9 months over 3 convictions and 100 prosecutions? Now, I want you to just think about their logic for a second and see if it makes sense to you. All right? Because they think it's unfair that women are being lawfully punished for breaking the law, they are going to legalize abortion up to 9 months, up to the point where the baby is in the birth canal. This way, the women don't have to face any criminal charges ever for murdering their babies in the womb. That's their logic. What about the life of the baby? This is evidence that the West does not consider the unborn baby in the womb a life, even though science tells us that a life begins at conception. Even though every human being that was born in the world was made in the exact same way, through the exact same process. It is painfully apparent and crystal clear that the only thing that matters is the life of the mother to these evil, evil, evil women. Let me make one thing crystal clear here. Ending a pregnancy, I call it murdering a baby, at any stage before or after 24 weeks is simple and plain murder. It is evil, and everyone involved should be locked up for life. So what does this mean for the West, whose birth rate has already declined below the replacement rate? This means that the people in power, your MPs and prime ministers, want the people in the West to continue to self-destruct. I'm sorry, but that is the only logical conclusion. Because only an evil or an incredibly stupid person calls the murder of babies in the womb women's health care or reproductive rights. And I doubt MPs are incredibly stupid. So yes, our MPs want the West to continue to self-destruct. How? Well, by first murdering your babies, your future generations, through abortion. Second, they want the hookup culture to continue. The hookup culture is only possible because of three things, three factors: the pill, abortion, and government housing and funding. Take away those three factors and everyone will be getting married again and having families again. Third, the end of Western civilization and the introduction of something new. And if you are wondering, what do I mean by something new? I want you to think about it in this way. Ask yourself, what kind of ideology, belief, or government wants your daughters and sisters to be whores? Wants your daughters and sisters to be promiscuous? Wants your daughters and sisters to murder babies in the womb? What kind of government wants their population to continue to decline? What kind of government wants boys to be girls and girls to be boys? What kind of government wants to destroy marriage and the nuclear family? I'll tell you what kind of government. Only a satanic government. Only a government that operates on the principles of the occult. No government that wants its nation to prosper and be strong legalizes the murder of its own people. So shame to Britain. How low has England fallen? What a tragedy. A nation that once stood for what is right and good now is one of the leading forces of evil in the world. So what's the solution? Turn to Christ. Only Christ can help us overcome the temptation that the government is placing in front of us. Make no mistake, by legalizing every degenerate and evil behavior, they are tempting you. If everyone says, no, I'm not going to abort my child, then this new law will mean nothing. So resist the temptation by putting your trust in Christ, whether it be watching porn, drinking alcohol, smoking, divorcing, having sex outside of marriage, aborting your kids, you name it. By putting our faith in Christ, we are telling them that the evil laws mean nothing. I also want to stress that abortion, guys, listen, abortion at any stage is evil. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.